Solve the inequality 7 minus 3x is greater than or equal to 13. So we have this inequality here, and we need to solve it. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take 7 and send it over the inequality sign. It was a positive 7, but when we send it over, it becomes a negative 7. And so we have negative 3x is greater than or equal to 13 minus 7. Now, what is 13 minus 7? Well, 13 minus 7 is 6. And so what we have here is negative 3x is greater than or equal to 6. Next, we divide both sides of the inequality by negative 3. So this negative 3 on this side is going to cancel out. So we cancel this negative 3 with this negative 3. So those two cancels. And so on the left-hand side, we are left with x. And on the right-hand side, we have on the right-hand side, we have 6 divided by negative 3. And 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. And so what we have is x is less than or equal to negative 2. Now, why is that? Notice that this was a greater than or equal to sign, but this changed into a less than or equal to sign. And the reason why that's the case is because we divided both sides of this inequality by a negative number. Whenever you divide by a negative number in an inequality, whenever you divide both sides of the inequality by a negative number, you have to change the sign. And so this was greater than or equal to, but we have to change it to less than or equal to. And that's the answer to this inequality, all right? How do we get that? Well, we divide both sides by negative 3. We cancel the negative 3's. We left with x on this side. We have 6 divided by negative 3, and that gives us negative 2. And so we have x is less than or equal to negative 2. Next, we have to graph our solution on a directed number line. And so what we have to do here is notice that our solution was x is less than or equal to negative 2. So we go on our number line and we shade in negative 2. And the reason why we shade in negative 2, the reason why we put a circle on top of negative 2 and shade it is because, well, we have a line here, and this line indicates that negative 2 is included in the solution set. And so we have to put a circle and shade it. But if the line was in here and it just was x is less than negative 2, then we wouldn't have to shade this circle. We're just going to leave it as an unshaded circle. But the line is here, and we have to shade in this circle. Now, what we have to do next, well, it says x is a less than or equal to negative 2. So emphasis on the less than. So what we have to do is we have to put an arrow where the numbers are less than negative 2. And so that's going to be to the left. So these numbers are less than negative 2, negative 9, negative 10, negative 12, and so on. They are less than negative 2. And so this is the graphical representation of this inequality. And that's the answer to this question.